Good morning, everybody. It's not Thursday. It's actually Friday morning. And I only woke up about 20 minutes ago and I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't get the webinar done. So here we are. Here we are. Come on, power save mode. Let's stop that. All right. So we're going to talk about letting go this week and understanding the things that we really do have control over. Some of us tend to be control freaks. All of us exercise control freak tendencies. It's just we exercise them in different ways. But let's start by looking at this basic formula: event plus response equals outcome. We cannot control the events that happen in our lives. When things happen that are unfortunate, when people make decisions that are unfortunate that influence us negatively, we can't really control that. And sometimes because of negative things that have occurred to us over the course of our lives, we try to control the things that are coming up, and it means that we are overly trying to dominate a certain situation, to dominate our children, to dominate a spouse, our coworkers. Um, so when something in our past or something in our current situation is so out of control, we try to control the things that we can. But we need to understand that even the things that we think we can control, we really can't. So we're going to talk about that today. Event plus response equals outcome. So we can control our response, us, our heart, our mind. We can control how we respond to certain things. Sorry for the crying baby in the background. We'll fix that. But it's outside of my control right now because I'm doing a webinar. All right, so a few guiding principles. We need to take 100% responsibility for how life is today. All right, it doesn't mean that we control everything that happens to us today. It just means that we acknowledge that we are responsible for the things that we have created. Because when we know and not acknowledge that we are responsible for the things that we've created in life up to this point, not either, but because of our response to certain events, then we also can accept the corollary that we can create positive things that will happen in our lives later because we can control our response to events that occur. Principle number 2, we give up all of our excuses. And so when you do this exercise, ask yourself, think about something that has happened in your life. I am such and such way because I did or felt or thought. Or I am in this situation, or I am suffering this condition because I did, felt, or thought a certain way. All right, so 2, give up your excuses. When that thing happened, ask yourself, how did I create that? How did I allow it to happen? How did you respond to it to actually create that outcome? So then step 3, we give up blaming and complaining. I challenge each one of you to go on a complaint fast for a certain amount of days. I think you should do 7, but if you just want to do 1 and start with baby steps, then do 1. And after you've gone on a complaint fast for 1 day, think about, well, what would it be like if I do this for another day? And then positively, consciously think about the things that you're going to be positive about. I'm going to be positive about my work or about my spouse or those things in your life wheel, that things that are not going so well. What are you going to do? Be positive about your health, all those things. Stop complaining about where you are. Own it and consider, okay, what am I doing? How am I responding to create this? And which is step 4, consider and ask. What am I doing that I should do less of? What am I avoiding that I should do more of? This is, again, that 5% more concept in your life wheel. 5% more to make your situation better without complaining about it. Just thinking, you've already actually thought about that a lot in most cases, in the exercise we did before. And then take action. When an event occurs that upsets your life, what will you do to change the outcome? And consider those beliefs, consider your self-care items and consider doing things on your joy list. All right, next thing that we want to talk about, and we're going through this real fast so we're not spending too much of your time, but this idea of your power circle. And understanding that anytime we exert control over things outside our power circle, we feel hopeless, we feel helpless, and we are the ones we suffer. So, I want to go to this other screen. Boop. All right. And here's our blank power circle. And in the center, consider this as you empowered today, or your power today. I'm thinking about He-Man. Anybody see He-Man? I have the power. Sorry, that was ridiculous. All right, so the things that we don't have control over, that are outside our power. A lot of us will look back to our past and we'll say, you know what, that awful situation that happened to me as a child, or that person that was abusive, whatever, or my parent who passed away, or that accident that happened, because of that, I can't act today. I can't do anything today. And by having that mentality that because of our past and because of what happened, I can't do something today, gives too much power to your past. Your past has all of this influence over you because of, and it's something that you can't control. You cannot go back in time, Marty McFly. You can't go back in time to make that past change. Okay? Likewise, our future, looking to the future, Doc Brown, when we look at our future and we say, okay, when such and such is the way I want it, then I will act today. When my spouse does X, Y, or Z, then I will do this today. When I have this amount of money in the future, then I will do X, Y, and Z today. Instead of saying, we're looking to the future, instead of saying, all right, today, what am I going to do to influence my future? Okay? We cannot control what happens to us in the future. We can only influence it through our actions today. Okay? Very basic stuff. All right, one of the big ones is others. We try to control other people. If this person, if this boss, if this spouse did X, Y, or Z, or does X, Y, and Z, then I can't do something today. Here's an example from our doTERRA experience. Jenny wanted to do doTERRA as a business. I did not. I was not antagonistic towards it, but I didn't want to do it. And she pressed forward with it, and she did it, and she invited, and she sampled out to people, and she did everything that she could to build a business. But she never said, oh, I can't do this without Steve. She never said, oh, when my spouse is involved in doing this with me and is fully invested, then I'll be successful. And so if she had waited for me, she never would have acted. And at this point we'd be back in the same situation we were in before. But because she chose to understand that in her power was her ability to act today, it didn't matter about what I was doing. She could do what she wanted to do. And by doing that, we have a better future. So don't wait on other people to act. Likewise, stop trying to control other people. Your children, your coworkers, that person that is aggressive in the car. That person that says, I don't want to, the person that you're trying to share with, you're trying to help and they don't want your help. You can't control them. You can influence them. You can show forth love, but you cannot control them. All right, the last part is we look to God. And if you don't believe in God per se, we'll just say like the universe or just our overall circumstances, and we shake our fist at God and we say, when you do this, when you do this, then I'll change. So when you give me when you give me this miracle, then I will act. Some people might look at that like, and this might hit home for some people. When I am married, then I will do this. Hannah, get down, please. Thanks. When I can have a baby, then I'll do this. And you say to God, God, unless you bless me with the man, the baby, the business, the miracle, whatever, and we shake our fist at God and say, do this or else I won't act, then where are we? We're not acting, we're not within our power circle, and we are feeling this effort to try to control God, and we feel helpless and hopeless because we're trying to control the him or God entity. So, what are you trying to control today? Let it go. And realize that the things you can control are your actions, your response to the outcomes that occur. And it will actually help you feel much happier to let go of those feelings of control. It helped me immensely. This was one of those frameworks that when I was introduced to it, it was like mind opening. It was completely mind opening, and it's so basic. It's a circle and 4 lines and a few words. Let go. Have a great weekend. Enjoy that fall weather, and we'll see you soon.